Radhe. Thank you, Padmini ji and Gayatri ji. And good morning, good evening, everyone. Over to you, Nitin ji, for another exciting session.
Thank you, Rahul, and thank you, Padmini ji, Gayatri ji, for a wonderful discussion, like always. So, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. So, today is our quiz day. Our quiz masters, I see them all geared up for the quiz. So, let's get started. I would encourage everybody to participate directly on Kahoot or otherwise as best as possible. So, let me share my screen. We'll do our opening prayers and then we'll get started. All right. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. All right, so Radhe Radhe again, a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm going to stop share and then let our quiz masters take control. Who's going to be running that, Rahul? Is it going to be you?
Arunji, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so it's Kahoot time. You need to put in www.kahoot.it. The game pin is there right in front of your screen. Probably you can post it in the chat as well.
Sure.
Game on. I would encourage all of you to join it. It's our quiz masters make it pretty engaging throughout. So, and we do it every alternate week for the benefit of people who might be joining in new. This is a great way to recap, revise the knowledge that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, and in a very fun and interactive way. So I would encourage you to participate. It's pretty straightforward. Type in www.kahoot.it, put in the pin, pick a name, and you're good to go. Even otherwise, you can participate over the chat if you're not able to, for some reason you're technically challenged. So. So, is there any key announcements, Rahul, you wanted to make while we are waiting?
Announcement. We have announcement about the Sunday Satsang,
And
which is on Sunday.
Sunday, on Sunday, okay.
The family camp discount and the Yoga Fest Dallas trip.
Right. Okay. So Yoga Fest. Yeah, we have the dates announced for the Dallas Yoga Fest. It is going to be from June 21st to 23rd. 3 days full of yogic wisdom, kirtan, Swamiji's keynote lecture, and many other exciting things. So check that out. Register. Registration is free. Or if anyone is among the community of vendors, there is a call for vendors, whoever want to participate in the Yoga Fest. So please check that out. And the details will be up in the chat soon. Yeah, it will be online as well. I see a message around that. So Yoga Festival, as far as I know, will also be broadcasted online. Okay, and the announcement is family camp. So the most exciting annual camp of RKT Dallas, or the headquarters of JKO, is the family camp, and that is going to be in July, from July 4th to 10th with Swamiji. It will be 7 days of extravaganza, actually. Bhakti extravaganza, which nobody should miss out on, and it's best attended if attended in person. So whoever can come to Dallas, an opportunity not to be missed. But yeah, So register for it. There is already a discount going on, I guess, a significant discount. So check that out. Register for the family camp. Be in Dallas and relish it. And if not, I think it might also be possible to attend it online, but that will be revealed later. So yeah, and these were the major announcements that I was aware of, Nitin.
Okay, great. So for those of you who might be new to Kahoot, this is the time of the week when we recap, revise the knowledge that we've been talking about. We do it every alternate weeks, and it's a pretty straightforward, not too difficult to join Kahoot. You look at the link www.kahoot.it, put in the game pin, pick a name, and you are in. And then our quiz masters will start playing the quiz. So we'll give a few more minutes. I would encourage more participants to join in. I know some of you play over the chat, but it's good if you can join in the game. The more, the better. It makes it. We try to make it pretty interactive and competitive. So.
And if you have any problem joining, you can raise your hand and we can sort it out. But like I see 47 participants.
Yeah, only 12 have joined so far. I would encourage more to join.
Yeah. And I think Arunji can assure us that the quiz is going to be easy. Is that the case, Arunji?
Yeah, it's taken from the summary mainly. So,
okay.
But yeah, it will be. I mean, it depends on how people have read the summary or not. So.
Good. So we can give a few more minutes for everybody to join in, maybe around 9, 10, 3 more minutes. We can get started because I think we have a segment today talking about one of the saints of India as well. So Samaran is going to present that. So we'll probably have 5 to 8 minutes for that as well towards the end.
By the way, while you're waiting, does anybody know what this backdrop is?
Krishna?
No, I mean, in which Kshetram? I mean, do you have any ideas?
Kurukshetra?
This is Tota Gopinath actually in Puri. Does anybody know the general story behind Tota Gopinath? I'm just doing it while we are waiting for participants to join. Yeah.
Go ahead and let us
know. I mean, what I just heard about this is, so I recently visited Jagannath Puri, so I had a chance to visit Tota Gopinath as well.
Okay.
So I think the main thing behind this is the form in which the Vigraha of Krishna is sitting in a bent form, in a sitting form. It's not in a standing form. Okay. And the reason being is that after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu merged into Krishna, Gadadhara Pandit was actually missing him terribly. Gadadhara Pandit is an incarnation of Radharani, and in Kali Yuga, just along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an associate. And what happened is Gadadhara Pandit was getting very old, so he couldn't do all his Pushpa Seva and all that, like flowers and all that. So he couldn't stand up to what Krishna was. So Krishna bent down for him so that he could do the Seva. So that's how the story behind it is. So it's called Tota Gopinath. It's pretty famous in Puri. If anyone visits Puri, it's very close to. I mean, after seeing Jagannath, and you can also visit this Kshetram. Yeah.
Thank you, Arun, for giving us the darshan of Tota Gopinath and the story related to it. So very nice. It's a good start to the quiz. So I see close to 20 participants. Let's give about a minute more. Then we can get started. I'm sure more people will join in. Join in the fun, either through chat or otherwise. Khush Raho is playing.
SRK is also playing.
SRK is also Sevak of Radha Krishna. Okay, Khelte Hain Fir is there, and Gandhi Sakhi was also there. Gundi Sakhi or Gandhi, I know. Yeah, Gandhi, pata nahi, I mean. Okay, I think it's 9:10. So we don't want to end our session at 10:11. So let's get started. I think those of you who are joining in late can always join in. I think they can join in late or over the chat. So let's get started. How many questions are we here? Do we have today?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the regular, we have about 14 or something, and we'll have like just 3 videos or shorts. So graded is 14, I guess.
14. Okay, let's get started. I think we like I said, we have another segment towards
How
that.
how long is that segment to be?
5 to 8 minutes, I believe.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. All the best to all the participants. Game on.
All right.
Okay, we start with the 3, 2, 1. Suspense builds. Start with the video.
Do you realize that you are amongst the 0.1%, which is 0.1% most fortunate youth on this planet? When you harbor that thought, does it fill your heart with gratitude? This is the power of thoughts. One thought makes you dejected, the other makes you joyous.
That's a good start.
Yeah, thanks to Rahulji for this.
I think that's a recent speech that Swamiji gave at UT Dallas. Yeah, it was a beautiful speech. I had heard about it. Attitude that we need to harbor around anything. Very nice.
And those of us who haven't yet gotten a copy of Power of Thoughts, I mean, hearing this, I think everybody should get it and read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get started then.
Okay, let's get started.
All the best to all the participants.
Out of anger, desire, and greed, which is the worst mental affliction in the scriptures? It was a brief discussion we had during the
First is a superlative term, so cannot be all of them. That much English I know.
I don't know what to put as a fourth one. I could have put anything. I thought, okay, if someone didn't read it carefully. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's desire, because desire is the root cause for both anger and greed, the mother of both anger and greed, as we've been talking about in the shloka discussions over the last 1 week. So desire is the right answer. I think 12 people went with the green option. All of
Got
them.
rejected right away.
The keyword is worst in the question.
Worst has to be one only. Okay, that much. Okay, let's see how our leaderboard looks right now.
I should have put this with double pointer and at the end, I guess, but it's okay.
Let's see. Bhakti se hi hoga. That's a good one. Vidya Shakti, Jai Hanuman. So I think everybody, it was more of a photo finish based on who was the quickest out of them. So yeah, let's move on. It's early days in the game. So
Okay. One has to intellectualize God's leelas to gain benefit from it.
intellectualize God's leelas. Eight agree. And if you still agree, can you please raise your hand and let me know why you would agree, or was it the time pressure? Okay, so yeah, we don't have to intellectualize God's leelas, because if we could understand every leela of God, that means we have the ability to crack into God's head, right? What's going on in somebody's head, God's head. That means we have already become God realized, or our intellect is superior to that of God. So there will be things we'll not understand. And even otherwise, it's not a good policy to intellectualize God's leelas. Like we sometimes sit and discuss, why did Krishna do that? He was a politician. And Ram, why did he do that? It's not good, because one aspect of it is we don't have the eligibility for it. So in all humility, we should approach it. Second biggest disadvantage of doing that is we may end up doing spiritual transgressions. And when we do spiritual transgressions, it throws back our spiritual journey several notches back. And it's not a good strategy at all. So accept it on face value or suspend your judgment around things that is just not making sense. We don't intellectualize God Leelas because they are not matter of our intellectual gymnastics or a matter of debate or a matter of journal discussion where we pick up something and try to find faults with the Leelas and put that. So it's not a good strategy at all. Okay, so let's move on with this one. What happens? Okay, somebody fell off and DB is the highest climber. So good going, DB. KM has moved into the leaderboard. The top four are pretty much the same. Okay.
Who is Hope? I think we had Hope last time who was running out of hope last time, but what
Hope was, I think, Shri Ramya last time.
No, I think, okay, fine. All right. We'll move on.
Yes, let's move on.
Okay. It is better to invest in spirituality when the going is tough so that the impact can be felt.
Very carefully drafted questions.
Neetuji is the hope.
Oh, Neetuji was Hope. Okay, sorry. She was playing well. So I hope you've taken the picture, Neetuji. It's the first time you showed up on leaderboard. Okay, split verdict here. Some people say true. In fact, more people are saying true. It is better to invest in spirituality when the going is tough so that impact can be felt. Well, answer is false because you don't dig a well when your house is on fire. Okay, that's a saying. And Kabir Das ji has also said, Sukh mein sumiran sab kare, dukh mein kare na koi. Sukh mein sumiran jo kare, dukh kahe ko hoy. So it's important to build that resilience because when you're already down and out, and then somebody comes and tell you, oh, it's God's will, and you have to do acceptance, you may even become more negative. That is not the time for you to. It's usually difficult, but some people take to spirituality when going gets tough, or some reversals they face in life. That can happen as well, but it's a better idea when things are going smooth. Build those resilience, build those cushion, so to say, as opposed to delaying it, only when things are bad, because that would really help us in those down times that are likely to come anyways, right? It's just a matter of time for everybody in everybody's life. Yeah, Sandhya, you wanted to say something?
I would say it is better to invest in spirituality than material pursuits all the time. So here the statement is not saying it is better to invest in spirituality only when the going is tough.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
even
it
when
would
the
have been
going is
drafted
tough,
differently, regardless, I would say. It has nothing to do with going tough or going easy, but I think it is in context with what was discussed in the class. And that is what they have picked up exactly. I remember that conversation we were talking about it, right? That we have to do it regardless. But then if we are able to do it when the going is smooth, even better, because that is typically the time people forget and they get enamored by Maya and they start enjoying life, forgetting, the fundamentals around what they need to be doing. So maybe in that context it is, but yes, we could have worded it a little differently. It's important to invest in spirituality regardless of, whether the going is tough or smooth. Tejas, you wanted to add something? Or you have to unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead,
Oh,
please.
sorry. Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, that's how you can achieve neutrality, right? You're not getting uh, swayed by Maya in whichever way, positive or negative. You're
Very true.
trying to tend to stay neutral and stable that way.
True, very true. So in happiness, when we can sail through those and still remember God, have that gratitude or have an equanimity as opposed to enjoying that high, then I think we are doing ourselves a big favor. So good point. Let's
And
move
also
on.
in all the god leelas, also like most of Krishna or Rama during his difficult times, also they maintain that equanimity, and That's the lesson that you learn, right, from all the leelas also.
Very true. That's the key. It's easy
Thank
to
you.
get carried away when the going is smooth.
Right.
And that time we can remain equipoised and maintain that neutrality around that high that we are feeling. That's the real yardstick for success at
Yeah,
that.
stick. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks.
It always reminds me again that example, but one of the things that immediately comes to my mind is that look in. I'm a cricket fan, okay, so I always keep on saying that example when Dhoni won the World Cup to 2011 after 1983, India won it, right? After so many years. I remember people around him, they were like screaming, shouting, and he was like, okay, job done. He picked up a stump and just moved off, walked off. And even when he hit a shot, he knew it has gone for a six. But that
But his,
equipoise exhibited in
his
that moment,
reaction was calm. Yeah.
very calm, very calm. I know it might have been excited, but the way he carried out of, I was like, wow, this guy is something. The way he thinks is something different. But that
He
is
can
very,
take the good and the bad in the same. Yeah.
yeah, that equipoise for sure. All right, let's move on.
Sure.
Okay, Vidya Shakti has replaced and Hope is back. So Hope, you can take this screenshot, is the best showing. I'm sure you'll continue to show up here, but very good going, Neetuji, today. And who got replaced? Well, the first one was, I think that person, I forgot the name. Anyways, maybe they can make a comeback and then I'll see that. Yeah, and Dhruvil has made it to the leaderboard as well. Let's move on quickly. True or false?
God is not the doer, but the director of our actions.
Confused people, I have a feeling. Director came in one of our sessions. Somebody raise hand to create controversy, please. The answer is false. He's not the director of our actions. He's given us the free will. But he becomes the director of our action when we are perfectly surrendered. That is how it's meant to be. But because we are not perfectly surrendered, he's not taking control. He's not the Sarthi as yet, or the charioteer for us as yet. So false is the right answer. Now, if you want to create a controversy and ask any follow-up question, please raise your hands. If not, then we can move on to the next question. Yeah, he's not the director of our action. He supplies the energy, he gives us energy regardless, but he's not the director as yet. If a saint says the God is the director of my actions, then it is right. But if we say that is not right, like Tulsidas ji had said, right? Na main kari na kari sakun, sahib karta mor, karat karawat aap hain, tulsi tulsi shor. So a saint can say that. We cannot say that as yet. Okay, let's move on.
I think I've had enough true and false. Let's go to some multi-select now.
Okay, can you change it at right? With Hope is moved to the second spot now. I am pretty impressed. A lot of pictures you can take today. Okay, one after another. KM Jai Hanuman ji is there. I think it is Mr. Meenu ji, I guess, but we'll see. Good going. Let's move on. Vidya Shakti, name itself is pretty powerful.
How does God's role in karma resemble that of an umpire in a cricket match?
Who is this bowler? I mean, I've never seen him play.
Yeah, some random photo only. Might
Okay.
be some school.
I was thinking Vinod Kambli has become a bowler. C option, and majority got it right, unsurprisingly, which is good. Yes, he doesn't actively intervene, like God doesn't actively intervene. He said, all right, you do it, I'll give you the result. He does not even punishes immediately who don't follow the rule, and he definitely does not ignore. So he notes the actions and gives the results, and that is how it is equated to an umpire or a referee, referee's role. So let's move on. Perfect justice dispensing system, so to say. Bhakti se hi hoga is back.
Oh, Bhakti Se Yoga was the one in the top position earlier.
See, so Dhruvil, you need to catch up with Bhakti Se Yoga. Bhakti Se Yoga has displaced you in the leaderboard now. Okay, let's move on. Vidya Shakti is going good.
Okay. Multi-subject.
Okay.
Why do good things happen to bad people? Let's do it. Come on.
Good things happen to bad people. Why do? I mean, why can? Good might be a better thing. Today I'm in a
Yeah,
good.
that's true. Yeah, why can good things? That's a better way to frame it. Yeah.
Today I don't know, my sense of English has gotten a little.
I was looking at the GIF that is posted and I just pasted using that.
So this is from Friends, right?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Gross. Because of the consequence of past life. Okay, some underlying cause, somebody said 14 of you went with because the material world is a mix of. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty stoical answer. But yeah, the key thing is it's the law of karma at play. Somebody might have earned part of it and might be getting some credit in this life, right? So it's like somebody doesn't work and they hit a jackpot, and somebody continues to work hard in life and still don't get it, right? That can happen, and it only way to rationalize it is because of our past karmas. Things can happen. So that is the right answer, and it again, based on the law of karma, this is how it's dictated. So let's see. I'll be surprised if there's any change in the leaderboard though on this one. But okay, a bit of a shake-up happened. Vidya Shakti's Hope, KM, Jai Hanuman, and Jai Gurudev is there now. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Arun, there is no question as yet which has created a controversy. I mean, then you will not live up to your reputation then. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see how quickly it happens now. Monica ji is not going to come here today, so
Yeah.
probably not get into that.
Like double pointer. Why does God grant free will to the soul?
Okay, red pill, blue pill, huh? One of the option is right, that could stir up some emotions here.
Yeah. I think so far all the questions there's been split verdict across all options, so it has been controversial throughout.
Oh, there has been controversy. Okay, maybe the person who would air controversy is not here today, so. Okay, because souls are minute parts of him and he is supremely independent. So as give the option to love him is fine. The blue one, fragmental parts of him and he is supremely independent. Yeah.
It's just on the commentary from Swamiji for the words.
Yep, that's right. And God, he cannot be responsible for any deeds, of course. He's not like, okay, I'm washing my hands off you guys. No, he's willing to take responsibility for us, but we are not willing to give it back to him, right? And soul truly has no will. That's not right. So yeah, these two options are right. Let's see what happens to our leaderboard after this one. Prabhat is joining after a while today. Jai Hanumanji has climbed up. Hope has made an exit. Hope, we still have hope from you. Radhe Radhe, Bhakti Se Hi Ho Gaya, Vidya Shakti, they've been playing here. So good going. Let's move on.
Once Mother Sita was giving gifts to everyone. Hanuman was wondering, what is she going to give to me? She took a mala and gave it to him. Hanuman took one of the beads and he cracked it with his mouth and he threw it. Then he took another bead, cracked it with his mouth and threw it. So somebody said, why are you disrespecting the mala that Sita has given? Hanuman said, I am checking if the image of my Ram is in this bead. If it is not there, what use is it to me? So then they questioned Hanuman that, all right, do you have Ram in Sita in your heart? If you don't, then what use is it? At that time, Hanuman tore his heart apart, and there he showed the images of Sita and Ram installed.
Awesome. I think I must commend our quiz masters to pick these curated videos, as part of this session and show it to us. So thank you so much. Arun, Rahul, you guys are awesome. Let's move on. Kumarji, hope they did not
There
steal
is,
thunder on this story.
Nitinji, before we move on, there is a question about the blue option in the previous question.
Blue option. What happened to the blue
Which
option?
was that independent, that being part of God who is independent himself, we also have independence. Looks like people are not yet satisfied with that option. So if you can elaborate a little bit.
It's in Swamiji's lecture. Arun has already told you, so please go check it out. So God is independent, and so he has also given us a free will. If he had automated us, then what's the point of creation, right? We would have been robots. So he's independent and he has made it independent. That element of free will he has given to us so that we can exert that in line with how it is meant to be exerted. And if you don't do that, there's a law of karma that that takes care of it. So he says, okay, I'm independent, you be independent as well. But if you're dependent on me, I'm more than happy to take care of you. And that is why what we need to do from a spiritual perspective. Okay, we can continue if you're still not satisfied, but let's move on to our next question now. I think we have to keep a time check as well. We are just 50% through as yet. Multi-select. Okay.
Double pointer. What is the impact of ignorance on souls?
So multi-selects can mess up somebody's progress here. Neetuji is a recent casualty because of that. And then it's saying God is solely Anu Swatantra, God is Vibhu Swatantra because of being his part. Very true. Technically, yes. God is Anu Swatantra, not completely independent. It's like a bit of a rope God soul has. Within that rope, which is tied eventually to God, they can operate with their free will. Rupaji, are you still awake? All right, so yes, we identify it's all the options. Because of ignorance, all these symptoms manifest. We identify ourselves the body, blame God for the actions, develop pride of doership, and we don't realize that we have a freedom to choose and we continue to play to the tunes of the gunas. So this is all born out of ignorance. All options are correct. Let's see what happens to our leaderboard. Swatiji, you are right, but not absolutely right because fourth option was also right. So Jai Hanuman, oh my God. So this is the first time I think Jai Hanuman has really climbed up. So you can take a snapshot. Not that you'll not be there, but it's good going. Sandhya is the highest climber. Sandhya, congratulations. Dhruval, KM, Vidya Shakti, Bhakti Sayoga is back in reckoning. So let's move on to the next question. Type answer.
Between birth and death, there are dash to make.
There are dishes to make, I guess. Huh? A lot of dishes to make.
In the meanwhile, there's actually a question. From Ajit ji. Who is most beloved for Sri Ram, Hanuman ji or Sita ji?
Most beloved? Kumar ji can answer that. Okay, but we'll decisions, choices. Oh, you have taken both, huh? That's good. So that gives hope to people who put in decisions. Although in the session we said between B and D there is C, which is choices. But good. Yes, that is the right thing. Choices dictate the trajectory of our spiritual or material life as well. So let's see who got it right.
Did you answer the question?
No, I have not.
Okay.
So I think it is see, if you think about Sita ji is the Yogamaya power of God, right? So they are inseparable. And if we truly understand what is the Yogamaya power of God, that is the highest devotee, no matter what it is, right? And the Virah, the Yogamaya power, the personification of the divine love of God, experiences for God, nobody can match that, no matter any other bhav, whichever bhav you practice. So technically, if you think about it, Ram and Sita are inseparable. So she would take the higher position in that sense, right? Although from a devotee standpoint, Hanumanji will get higher bliss probably because he can devour the bliss of both Sita and Ram as their Ishtadev. So yeah, but I gave you a bit of a technical answer. Hopefully that satisfy you.
I mean, Ajit ji, I think it would satisfy him. But
Okay.
one thing I want to mention regarding questions set up by Arun ji, you don't have to be only scripturally or spiritually right. You have to be grammatically also right. That becomes important in his questions.
Yes, Samji. Samji, you have something?
I put choice and space and C, like B, C, D. Choice, space, C. Like choice is also answered.
Choice, yeah, grammatically, if you think about it, but no
Yeah,
worries.
and it's incorrect. How it is possible?
That was, you were hard done by this question, I must say that.
I mean, if I put the C, then somebody would have said, what is B and C and D? If I put the choice, then somebody would have said, no, it's the other way around. I put the choice, space, C, whatever you want to understand.
Yeah, the choice of keeping it only as choice and not choices was probably not the
choices, choice, space, C. When there are two, whatever way, if you want to take the C between B and D, you take it that way. If you want the choice, it is just a simple left-hand side choice, CHOICE.
I agree, yep.
It's the incorrect. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
I think I jinxed Arun's clean streak today, so...
Like somewhere you are saying it's a grammatical thing. Either you give the choices so that you can pick the right word out of the screen, or you don't give and you accept it.
I agree. So no worries, feedback taken.
I mean, I'm nowhere, but I'm just trying to point out.
We'll get some English taskmasters here who will review our so that grammar is also taken care of. But I get here. I think let's move on. I think a lot of people would be done by this, but eventually, hopefully, it will balance out. So let's move on. Jai Hanuman has been replaced after this question. So what is it? Hanuman exemplified which type of bhav?
Towards God.
Should be straightforward. Okay, so yes, majority got it right. One went with Shant. It's not Shant, it's a Dasya Bhav. He's in fact the epitome of Dasya Bhav that he had for Lord Ram, right? And Parikashtha, or the zenith peak epitome, whatever you want to call that. So that is the right answer. We spoke about it as well. Let's move on. Okay. No change whatsoever. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think this is the first time there's no change in the shake up on the board. Yeah.
Yep, that is true.
Okay. When Hanumanji expanded in size and shrunk to enter the mouth of Surasa, what quality was mainly demonstrated?
I think if you had asked which siddhi was exercised, that would have made it even more interesting. All right, yeah, it was intelligence. Yeah, that's right. I think some went with humility, which I suspected some would. It was more intelligence, right? He was trying to outgrow the size of the mouth that she was expanding it to, and finally, when she expanded it too large, he just became small. And then he exercised his intelligence around it. First, he challenged her how far you can go with expanding the size of your mouth, and then finally when she continued to expand, he just became little. So he did exercise his buddhimata or intelligence around it. Let's move on and see what happens to a leaderboard after this one. Vidya Shakti is on fire, but Bhakti se hi hoga has, all right. Dhruvil, you can move up from the 5th spot, but good going. And Radhe Radhe, Jai Hanuman, all good. Let's move on. It's a close race. True or
The
false?
happiness of Indra is highest in the material world as he is the king of celestials.
If Indra is checking out on our kahoot, he'll say, "Are you kidding me?" Spati ji will say, "Give me a break." Yes, Indra is not okay. There are 3 more levels after Indra. His guru has even higher, and it goes all the way up to Brahmalok. So answer is false. It's a bit of a split verdict. So let's see if it changes our leaderboard. Not so much. Dhruvil has climbed up, so good going, Dhruvil. KM is there, and the top 3 are kind of the same. Let's move on. Oh, multi-select.
Why are allurements provided in the material world?
Oh, the laddus and chappals we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Poor get poorer, rich get richer. This is a tricky kind of question.
I think this is the last but one graded question. So
Okay.
there's only one more after this. So.
To make mistakes and learn. Okay, probably it's a design you to check it out if it truly gives you happiness or not. In that sense, yeah. To eventually understand to love God for real happiness, yeah, because we don't get satiated by chasing those allurements. To give opportunities to make choices, yes, God always gives you choices, this or this, that is there as well. So no hands raised, which is good. Let's see what the leaderboard looks like. Durvil, good going. Radhe Radhe, I think top 5 are pretty much there. Bit of a musical chairs going on, but top 2 are very solid at their positions right now. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think it's the last graded question.
Okay.
God and Guru costlessly bestow grace in the order of.
It's from Professor
Said by a
Cat.
famous professor, actually.
Okay. This could change stuff. I don't remember. This is an interesting quote you have taken. My grace is made sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Okay, so Guru first, they make their presence felt, then they enable the comprehension of divine knowledge, and then they adopt, monitor us, and then divine bliss when surrender happens. That's the right order. 20 of you got it wrong. 4 of you got it right. So let's see who are those 4 ones. Does
Now
it
I think it will go to some announcement, so it won't show the leaderboard.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can build up a bit of a suspense. Perfectly okay. Let's move on.
So this is about the power of thoughts going to happen in Seattle, Redmond, actually.
Uh-huh.
This is the next upcoming LTP before the one in Bay Area. So this is the announcement for that. It's on the power of thoughts. Yeah. It's an amazing thing that everyone should try to attend.
Please do.
Like the power of thoughts that happened in California a couple of years ago. And I think the same topic is coming up in Seattle now. Yeah.
Yeah, last year I attended this LTP. It was a wonderful program. So do check it out. And you get free prasad every day there. Okay. All right, let's move on. The next announcement. Family.
I think this one made already. Yeah.
And we have the special offer going on even now. Rahul said that, so it must be on then. Okay, let's look at our leaderboard quickly.
Okay.
Dhruval, good going. You are second runner up. Bhakti Sahi Yoga has been displaced. Vidya Shakti, I guess. And Jai Hanuman and Chandan, I believe. I don't know. Let's have the leaderboard. If you can come in, who is Vidya Shakti, Bhakti Sahi Yoga, and Dhruval. How was your experience? If you can come on camera, talk a little bit about it before we move on to our next segment. Who is Vidya Shakti here? Oh, you are Vidya Shakti. You said you're not. Who is Vidya Shakti here? It's you, Cash. Okay, that was interesting. Good going. Played. You're one of the consistent players here, so outstandingly played. Who is the second? Bhakti Se Yoga. Usual suspects, huh? I should have guessed it. And Dhruval, you crashed the party today. So how did it feel playing that? Extremely well played. So good job, Dhruval. I must say that. So want to say
Yeah,
something?
no, yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to revise 2 weeks worth of concepts, so really appreciate that.
So Vidya Shakti, Bhakti Se Yoga, Dhruval, Jai Hanuman. Who's Jai Hanuman? So, and Chandan has played really well too today. Hope has done 8th, which is pretty outstanding, I must say, Neetuji. Riya ji, are you Bhakti Se Yoga?
No, Jai Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman. Well played. Outstanding. Congratulations for that. And Chandan, are you there? So very well played, Chandan. I must say that. And who's Radhe Radhe? Neetuji, you want to say anything? KM, who is KM? Shyamji, are you KM?
Itne Radhe Radhe. No, I was Radhe Radhe. I
Radhe
came
Radhe.
sick to change. Yeah.
Very well played, Shyamji.
After a long, yes. Thank you so much.
After long. So, yeah, I think really well played. You were there in the leaderboard for a lot of
Yes,
time.
I was there almost for second half, but last question I was
Well
out.
played. I think Palin will be proud of you today. Okay. He always
Yeah.
write me. My father was almost there and he missed it.
Yeah.
Very happy
Yes.
boy.
He always says that you attend daily and you always last.
Well
Yes,
played.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
Neetuji, you want to say anything? I think this is probably your best showing till date.
Mahesh ji has sent a comment that please recognize those who are at the bottom of the list as well.
So Hall of Fame and Hall of okay. All right. Then I think everybody. Okay.
It was really, really challenging, but the multi-select, oh my God, Arun ji.
No, you're playing well. I think one of the multi-selects could you win, but you were,
जैसे ही मल्टी सेलेक्ट आया मैं एकदम बाहर ऐसा लगा फेंक दिया किसी ने
it can happen. It can happen. But yeah, congratulations to everybody.
It's
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
much fun.
So much
Thank
fun,
you.
but yeah, it is for sure. So thank you everybody for your enthusiastic participation. I know and thank you to our quiz masters, like always, to create these questions and make it so fun and exciting for all of us. So with that said, let's move on to our next segment. Do we have Samiran? Yes, Samiran, go ahead. He's going to talk about Bhakt Charitra. So we are all ears. So go ahead, Samiran. It's a new segment we have. Samiran is going to take up on saints from periodically. So go ahead.
Radhe Radhe everyone. Am I audible? Radhe Radhe. I'll quickly rush because I'm in a bit of FOMO. So yeah, so a couple of weeks back we celebrated the Hanuman Jayanti, and we got to review that the how devoted Lord Ram and how devoted Lord Hanuman was towards Ram Kaj and Ram Seva as a source of his Ram Bhakti. So that like sparked a thought within me that why not to bring out some Charitra of the saints of India, from where we can draw real life inspiration, and that will help us through their teaching, which it will help us and progress in our spiritual journey. So today we will look at the Bhakt Charitra of Pujya Sri Sitaram Das Omkar Nath Ji Maharaj. So who was Sitaram Das Omkar Nath Ji? Sri Sitaram Das Omkar Nath Ji was an Indian saint and a spiritual master of West Bengal, from West Bengal. He is addressed as Sri Thakur Sitaram Das Omkar Nath, where the word Omkar signifies the cosmic enlightenment and attaining supreme consciousness. He was known as the divine incarnate, the avatar of Kali Yuga, and he took up the doctrines of the Sanatana Dharma and Vedic spiritual path in devotees across the world. So this was a brief introduction about Sitaram Das Ji. Now we will look at the early life of Sitaram Das Ji. You can move on. Yeah. So he was born on Falgun Krishna Panchami, 17th February 1892 at Keuta village, Hooghly district, West Bengal, and he died on 6th December 1982 at Dumurdaha village, Hooghly district, West Bengal. In his Purvashram, that is before becoming saint, his name was Prabhu Chandra Chattopadhyay, his father Sri Prahari Chattopadhyay, and mother Srimati Malyavati Devi. Right from his childhood, his life was a mystery. So here I would like to bring out one of his early life events. When he was present at a Maha Mantra Naam Sankirtan, which was Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So there he went into a very deep state where his grandmother thought that he has went unconscious. But present over there, a very Siddh Tapaswi told his grandmother that he has went into a state of Samadhi. And if he splash Gangajal and sing the Kirtan aloud, then he will come back to the present conscious state. So such was the kind of life from his early childhood only. So moving ahead, Sitaram Das Ji Omkar Nath wrote more than 150 books to promote the essence of Indian scriptures. He built more than 60 temples and ashram across India and founded his spiritual organization Akhil Bharatiya Jai Guru Sampradaya. And he established many groups, temples, mutts, both within and outside the Sampradaya. So moving ahead, now we will look at onto one of the theory of Sitaram Das Ji. Now let's imagine a matchstick. He says if a single matchstick can burn hundreds of haystacks, if it can burn hundreds of kilos of cotton wool, if a small little matchstick can turn the darkness of a terrible mountain into the light in a trice, why can't a human being attain salvation by chanting the Chidatmak Naam, the name in the form of soul and the nature of the wisdom? So here he is giving a very deep inspiration to chant the name of the Lord. He further says that name itself is God. Now moving ahead, we will look at the Sitaram Das Ji life with his guru. In the year 1913, Sri Sitaram Das Ji received his Guru Diksha from Mahayogi of Digsui Dham, Sri Dasarathi Dev Yogeshwarji. So here I would like to mention that Guru Diksha is not something like on one fine day we wake up and we decide to renounce on everything and we just think of becoming a saint and go to a Guru. And it is Guru will first we have to become capable of that Diksha. So it is not like we just because we have renounced that Guru will give us Diksha, we have to follow his teaching, go towards his path. Only then the Guru's grace will happen to us. Sitaram Das ji always used to wear his Guru's paduka around his neck. Such was the level of his unbreakable faith of his Guru. Now, if you can see the image on the left hand side, there are two black things tied around his neck. That is his Guru's paduka. He always used to wear that. His Guru named him Sri Sitaram Das. After that, he got his name Omkar Nath from Swami Guruvanand Giri Maharaj. Ramji says that the grace of the Guru neutralizes the poison of sensual pleasure and leads the disciple gradually to the aesthetic bliss. It is only from Guru who gives his disciple the key to the spiritual treasure and takes him to the land of infinite happiness, which is beyond the realm of the material imagination and intellect. So it is not our capability of the material mind to attain the infinite happiness. It can only happen through Guru. It is so certain that every object of life can be attained by. Further, we can see that though he was admitted to the Bandel Church school to pursue Western education, he left the school for his interest in Indian Sanskritized education system. Thereafter, he studied at Yogeshwarji's house, where he undertook the daily chores as well as the spiritual education. You see how the thirst can take someone to Guru. So now let's look at some of Sitaramji's spiritual quests. Once while meditating in a cave at Ramashram, Dumurdaha village, he heard Mahamantra in the name of the divine song. And then he heard the divine voice, which said, Hey Rishi, Gota Lagao. Hey Rishi, Gota Lagao. Which means, oh sage, dive in the name. Still, even then, he was not ready for giving the spiritual initiation to the masses. But he wanted to wait for the direct command. Only after that, after some time at Puri, Odisha, Sri Jagannath Sakshat gave him darshan and gave him instruction. Go, and give the name. Jao, naam do, naam ka dam do. Thereafter, Sitaram Das ji started spreading the Lord's name on a mass scale. The teachings here to mention the teachings of Sitaramji are derived from his personal experiences, and that was revealed in the course of his continual spiritual practice. In the year 1918, Sitaram Dasji was meditating at about midnight when he visualized Lord Shiva along with Durga, the Divine Mother. And then later, Sitaram Dasji saw his previous birth on the day of Saraswati Puja. Through this, he came to believe that he was a worshipper of goddesses Kali in his previous life. So here we have to understand that this is a very short explanation, but there are many such experiences on his spiritual journey. And he has not seen Lord Shiva once, but many a times in his life. Now we shall see the words. Now please pay attention here. Now we shall see the words of Lord to Sitaram Das ji in the divine consciousness. Let's move ahead. Next slide. Yeah. The Lord says here to him that I am no different from Naam. Sustain Naam on the tongue, in your breath, in the mind, in the heart. Uphold Naam everywhere. Drown yourself in Naam. Only then you will be able to live in my heart, and all the burning desire will come down, cool down. So, as we all are burning with to attain the bliss, but we fall down short for the material pleasures, but only Naam can take us there in this Kali Yuga. Further, he says, there is no escape from agony if you stay intoxicated with the sense object. If someone says like, I am very fond of solitary and uninhibited places, the Lord says, no, go chant name, sitting in solitude, and I too will sit there and listen to it. Do not contest the fact that you are not able to see me. I am merely waiting for the right time. The moment the time is right, I will appear before you. So here, like yesterday, we had a very beautiful presentation by Kashji, where she addressed that what if one might feel lost about where we are in the spiritual journey. So I think she gave a very good checkpoints on the last slide. We can always refer to that and not feel uncertain. Moving ahead, now we shall look at the Sitaram Das Ji words and teachings. Few more slides only. He says, "Do not see anyone's fault. That alone will make you good. If a person finds fault with others, he attracts those faults in himself and acquire those faults. So if you really want to be good, don't see others' fault. There is no bigger sin than finding fault with others. Pay attention, one who has committed a wrong has done it and got its evil effect. But if we go on proclaiming and his wrongs and denouncing him around the world, you yourself will make your tongue foul, and thereafter you can go crying, and there is no end to it. He also says that we have been gifted with a pair of eyes so that we can see God in everything and do pranam to all. You have been given a tongue so that you may sing the Naam, Roop, Leela, Guna. But if you engage the same eyes and tongue to see and denounce other people's fault, tell me who in the world is more unfortunate than us or yourself. So here in the Kahoot, when we had the question, so we can now understand that why God has given us the free will to use that only for his sake. Now he also teaches us when one develops vairagya to material object, his eyes get directed to his own faults and helps him to shake the bondage of aham mama, that is I and mine. You chant the name and do pranam to everything, and saying that God, you are everything, rising, sitting, eating, or lying down. He who constantly chants Naam crosses the sansar quickly. God himself has come down as Naam. You devote your whole life in singing Naam and giving Naam to others. So such is the grace and the power in the name of the Lord. Lastly, I would like to leave you with Sitaram Das Ji's Abhay. He says, "My dearest children of blissful essence, it is truth familiar to you that this body has been given to you as an instrument for God realization. And in order to liberate oneself from the cage of five senses, one will have to observe the following musts. That is pure and sattvic diet, regular performance of compulsory prayers, sexual abstinence, some reading of holy books or participation in kirtan chant, keeping company with advanced devotees." This is very, very important to keep our companies always with the advanced devotees. That is all which will set us free from the bondage of the flesh and make one a participator in the divine Leela with its immersion in supreme mundane modes of perception, sound and touch and smell, and resultant ecstasy of God realization. A consummation that can be promised as infallible certainty. Like the material pleasures always fall down after some time, but once we are God realized, it will never fall short. It is always a certain thing. Just as we see sun, which is the living soul of the material world, with our direct sight, so shall we stand convinced in the indubitable truth of God's existence. So this was the life, the Bhakt Charitra of Sri Sitaram Das Omkarnath Ji. Though I feel very, very undeserving, also grateful to be able to get the chance and opportunity. Thank you, Nitin Ji. And also, please, on a very lighter note, please don't compare my presentation skills with Kash Ji. She is the inspiration always for me, and I learn from her from Lord. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Samiran, for taking initiative and presenting, this, taking on this initiative and presenting us with the life, the inspiration from the lifetime of Saint Shri Sita Ramji, right? So there are a lot of good things we learned, including some of the nuggets that was presented in the last slide on what are the things one could practice to progress spiritually on this path, right? So thank you again for all the groundwork that you did and for taking this initiative. We can continue to refine it further as we work on this to see, what all we can present. We have a book, Saints of India from Swamiji's. We could take a lot of inspiration from that because a lot of groundwork is already done, where we don't have to reinvent the wheel. But it is really commendable for you to take this initiative, do the groundwork, and have that, presented in front of all the audience. So thank you again for your efforts on this one. I see a few
Thank
hands.
you, Nitinji. It is, though I feel very undeserving, it is only because of the allowance of Lord and Guru.
No, you don't have to say that. It's all a very cozy group that we have, and anything that we can learn, is of great value for us. And today you presented Jeevani, or the whole life story of a saint, and there were a lot of takeaways from that personally for me as well. So let's hear from some other participants as well. I see a couple of hands. Go ahead, Sandhya, then Kumarji, and then we can wrap up our session. I know we are a little over, maybe 2 more minutes, 3 minutes, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay, there's time, so I'll just quickly say thank you for this great initiative. Like talking about bhakts and taking inspiration from them is like the best thing we all can do. I did not know about Sita Ramji, so for me it was absolutely new information. And what touched my heart the most was that he was wearing the footwears of his guru. He was carrying that. That's such a big thing, and it's a big thing to get a name from guru. We have a name that we got when we were born, but if you can get a name from your guru,
I
and
think that comes because when we leave our material life and go towards the path of spirituality as Vairagya, when we attain Vairagya, that is considered as the new birth in that path. So we
Good.
have to leave all everything. Yeah.
yeah, so only selected souls who are deserving can get that. But yeah, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Samiran. Kumarji, something? Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, and you have to say Jai Siya Ram now. You don't say Siya
Yeah,
Ram.
Jai
Siya
Shri
Ram.
Ram, Jai Hanuman.
You miss
Jai
Mother
Siya
Sita.
Ram for you, Nitinji.
Thank you.
So, of course, beautiful questions. Again, Hanuman questions, I always, just the name kind of thrills me. So the question is, who was closer to Lord Ram, Sita? Those questions should never come, actually. Like, those questions are asked, like, who is better, Hardik Pandya or Rohit Sharma? That kind of, those are all material stuff, right? So God is, when you understand God, it's not just this one, right? Of course, with these images, we are able to connect to them and have these bhavs. So we have our Ishtadev and any Kuladev whom we can pray. So we don't need to have these questions. Once we understand that they're all different forms, they're all the same. And so then we can, whichever form we like, we can take and then pray to them. True. Now, 10 years back, I went to Ram temple and I did a Hanuman puja, wherein, it's called Hanuman Vadamala puja. Okay, we make a Vadamala, 108 vadas, and then there's a puja which happens and all that stuff.
Vada means idli vada?
Yeah, okay. idli vada, but it's a different kind of vada. It's smaller and it has pepper in it, and it's a differently made, especially for Lord Hanuman, right? Now, when you sit for the puja, now Hanuman faces Ram's idol, right? You are not supposed to put your back to Ram. You have to sit on the side and have the puja, and no one has their back. Now, we were just going to start the puja, and initial preparations were done. Suddenly, one guy comes. I don't know that person. He comes and says, "Hey, you're doing a puja for Hanuman, and you're not doing it for Ram." And I was like, at the time, I didn't have any knowledge, right? And I'm like, am I doing some aparadh? And I'm asking the priest, what is it guy gone? And he is gone, right? He just said that and he's gone. He said, don't worry. When we do puja for Hanuman, we first go and get the permission from Lord Ram do initial this one and then come here. So don't worry about it. And that kind of put me at peace, even though for like 5 minutes I was like, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. But again, if I go now, I can answer him, right? So that is the kind of intention we need to have. Just take our this one, whichever bhav gives us that bhakti, right? We just take it and go on. We don't let people, confuse us with questions. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Okay, so with that, we come to the end. Please do fill out the feedback tracker, provide some feedback on the presentation or otherwise. And I look forward to tomorrow. By the way, we have spiritual secret session around the same time. And then, of course, what is the topic, Sandhya, we're going to pick up tomorrow?
Surrender, its principles, pitfalls,
Okay.
and inspiring stories. So if all of us were already in the zone of understanding surrender, there is a chance for us to continue learning that tomorrow, same time, same link. So look forward to seeing you all at the Spiritual Secrets from Hinduism session.
Right. And I look forward to seeing you back on Sunday evening, Monday morning, India time. So stay blessed and have a great rest of your devotional rest of your day and your evening. And I'll see you. Please do fill out the feedback tracker. Radhe Radhe. Good night. Good day from my side. Thank you, everyone.